been a while, right? Taurean with long wellness training and
Carrie is doing treatment.
right, it's been a while, things have been happening. Pandemic just flying off the handle and we're trying our own stuff, but as fate would have it, brought us back together. We gotta help each other out again. Specifically some injuries, unfortunately.
Myself, unfortunately.
Yeah, so share with the crowd what had happened and then we'll kind of break down what we're gonna probably try to do to help her move forward.
Alright, I was full sending down in Wellman, snowboarding, and I was going down a run at about like maybe 50 or 60K. So I was full sending, and just the way the run went down at an angle, my board started to like slip out from underneath me, and I went from being upright in 5 seconds to being full on horizontal and smacked my head on the ground. I had a helmet, but it definitely concussed me.
Wow, and that is the first, second, third time that's happened? Like back of the head concussion?
I would say at least 2 or 3 for sure.
Okay. Now concussions are obviously bad, folks. The worst, bar
Traumatic
none.
injury.
Yes, exactly. Okay, that's where your equilibrium sets, that's where your balance sets, your vision starts there, your ability to coordinate and create, I guess, control with your movements, formulates or originates here. If you've ever read anything about my story, that's essentially what wiped me out for years and really pushed my purpose to learn how to fix people, particularly really aggressive injuries such as concussion. It was a long journey when I first started. It was very simple, basic things to keep my heart rate down, to alleviate the tension that may be happening in certain points of my body. If we were going to get even another layer deeper, that would be our fascial lines that can get really inflamed. And if we talk even another layer deeper, there's certain sections of our brain that need to connect the dots, if you will. They're almost like strings. And when you've had concussion or jarring, acute impact to your head, those said segments that create signals and allow your body to formulate movement get damaged. And you don't necessarily get them back. What you need to do is formulate another connection somewhere else that's still intact and really dial down on how to gain that and use that on a very consistent basis, almost on a subconscious level. That takes work. There's a lot of ground exercises that are needing to rehabilitate. There's a very small, slow process and a precautionary process in order to alleviate the tension, reduce the inflammation in some of these areas. A lot of it has to do with posture. A lot of it will have to do with some of the stuff you've seen in our previous videos in respect to hip mobility. And you go through a progressive checklist where you're looking at these exercises, checking in with the client, checking in with the patient, and saying, okay, how do you feel? Are you getting dizzy? Are you getting nauseous? Things like that. So we are going to go over a calculated series here within the next probably couple of weeks to really help Carrie formulate a healthy rehabilitation strategy for the concussion. I also work at 4 points here. She's probably going to double that with some practitioner work. Specifically, she may need a chiropractor, which she was inquiring about. Massage therapy is going to be a big one. Cupping and acupuncture can also be very healthy strategies in which to deal with this stuff. But of course, she's not always going to have access to those things. So there may be times where she has to learn how to do those exercises herself. So there's going to be a combination of those things to really help her rehabilitate. Because of course, if we sit around and do nothing, folks, when it comes to injuries, you're not going to heal. In fact, it'll get much worse, and that's never the answer. And that's why we're filming this today, is to teach people to get back to work, to do it at the right time, and do the right things at the right time. You don't end up with injuries. So, stay tuned. We're going to show you quite a few exercises within the next couple of weeks here to really help her recover so she can get back to training. Anything to add to that? How you feeling right now, if you were to share with the crowd?
Now, I feel a lot better than I was over the last 2 weeks.
Right.
I was feeling fine, I think like over a week and a half ago, and then I had a year because I forgot I hit my head, and then it just gave me symptoms again, so.
Yeah, and that's another thing that you'll find with concussions. Nutrition is huge. Yes, nutrition is going to be huge. If you ever sway from the nutrition concepts or the nutrition, I guess, diet or restrictions, symptoms can flare up. So, anyways, stay tuned. We're going to show you quite a bit to help you heal